Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Cheesesteak Bao. Well, today we're whipping up a recipe that's a really tasty fusion of different Asian and American cuisines. We're talking about our Cheesesteak Bao. Now, bao is this incredibly tender, fluffy bun that originates in China, although the style that we're making today is a little more popular in Taiwan, and that one is stuffed with pork belly typically. Instead, we're gonna be stuffing it with an American-style cheesesteak with Japanese flavors incorporated. It's all gonna get topped off with a Sriracha homemade Cheese-Whiz. We're drawing inspiration from all over the place today. It sounds like a mess, but I promise it's tasty and a lot of fun. So we're gonna start by making the dough here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is bloom our yeast in some warm water. I need 340 grams. I'm gonna do this by weight just because it's a little bit more accurate, although I'll throw in volume measurements for you guys in the recipe. I'm gonna add to that 2 tablespoons of white sugar. There's a little bit of sweetness to this bun, and also this is gonna help make this yeast active really quick. 2 teaspoons of yeast, which works out to about 7 grams. We're gonna give it a stir. Now I'm just gonna pop this in a warm place in the kitchen and let this bloom. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. It's gonna get nice and foamy. So here's about 5 to 10 minutes. You can see how foamy it is. That tells us that it's active and ready to go. So next we're gonna mix together our dries. And again, I've scaled this out to 550 grams, but that's about 3.5 cups. I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of cornstarch to the mixture. Then we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of our kosher sea salt and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So we'll start by pouring our yeast, water, sugar into our stand mixer bowl. I'm gonna add to that 2 tablespoons of oil, and typically you could just use a plain vegetable avocado oil, but we're gonna pump a little more flavor into it with this chili infused oil. And then on top of that, we add our dries. I'm gonna pump this up to speed 2 and set a timer for 3 minutes. All right, time is up. At this point, we're gonna get this into the bulk ferment stage where it's going to rise. Just need to get a little bit of duck fat down inside of our container. And we're gonna let this rise until it's doubled in size. So you can see how our dough's really blown up here. That'll only take an hour or 2 depending on the temperature in your kitchen. We're gonna turn this out, and now we're gonna divide this into the individual little bao or little buns. So we're looking for about 2 ounces, 2 to 2.5 ounces for each one, and that'll give us about 16 of these guys. It's 2.5 on the money. I'm not gonna go any bigger than that, but we'll leave that. Now from here, we just wanna get these rolled into little buns, just like you would do with your pizza. Roll it until it's tight and smooth on top, and just give it a little pinch on bottom, and then transfer that to a parchment-lined sheet pan. So now we're gonna cover these and let them rest for at least half an hour. We wanna see them puff back up a bit. In the meantime, we've got some knife work to do. So here we have our steak. This is a big, beautiful piece of ribeye from Creekstone Farms, prime beef here. I don't need all this. I only need about 12 ounces, so I'm gonna cut around parts of it, take what I want. I want some of that spinalis for sure, but don't need every last bit of this fat. By the way, this has been hanging out in the freezer for the last hour or so it's pretty hard, which is gonna make it easier to slice up. And as much as I can, I'm gonna find which way the grain is running and slice against it as thin as I can. All right, I'm gonna see if I've got my 12 ounces here. Oh, 0.2 shy. There we go. 12 and a half, that'll work. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take our Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce, which is real thin. It's great, like salty, a little bit sweet. We're going to pour about half a cup of that in here, just enough to get everything coated. And we're going to let it kind of thaw out a little bit and soak up some of those really great Japanese barbecue sauce flavors. You know what, while we're at it, we've got some green onions. I've separated out the whites from the greens. We're going to use the greens for garnish. We'll throw the whites in here to cook on the griddle with the beef. All right, let's clean the station, move on to onions and peppers. Now for veggies, we've got the trifecta: onion, pepper, and mushrooms today. Using a yellow onion and a red bell. You guys could use any combination you like. Found these really cool white shimeji mushrooms at the Asian market. Seemed like that would fit perfectly. So let's break these down. I'm gonna slice them fairly thin, and again, about a cup of each. Again, we're gonna go really thin with these. I want them to almost melt into the steak itself. Just a little bit of texture. So these really don't need to be broken down much at all. We're gonna get rid of that root end, but I'm just gonna leave those whole otherwise. So our bao's had enough time to relax now. You can see it's also puffed up again. That's gonna actually deflate a little bit as we roll these out, which is fine, but we just needed to relax that gluten. Over here, we're getting some flour down on our work surface, a little more on top, and I'm just gonna roll this out into an oval shape. Not pressing too hard. And then we're gonna fold these over. But before I do that, I'm gonna hit the top with a little fat, a little duck fat, because I don't want it to stick. And fold that almost all the way over just like that, and then we're gonna let that proof one more time before we steam these. Today we're going to be cooking our cheesesteak filling as well as our cheese sauce on the Halo 4B griddle. But behind me we've also got the Napoleon gas grill. We're just going to utilize the side burner to steam our bao. Let's go ahead and get our steam baskets, our bamboo steam baskets loaded up with the bao. You can see that these have puffed up just a little bit as they sat. We're going to carefully transfer them here onto the parchment paper. Using parchment paper just because it's easy today, but if you want to, you could even use like cabbage leaves. Looks like we're gonna have to do 3 at a time, which is fine, we'll just work in batches. Try and keep them on the parchment because they will want to stick to the bamboo. So on the side burner, in the Finex Dutch oven, got a couple inches of water that's now boiling away. That's what's going to steam our buns. We're just gonna place this right over the top. So I'm gonna set a timer for 8 minutes, then we'll take them off, and we're gonna wait 5 more minutes before we take off the lid. All right, it's been 8 minutes now, guys, so we're gonna take these off and just set them right here next to it. And again, we don't want to yank the lid off right away. We got to let this finish, kind of calm down, bring the temperature down gradually over the next 5 minutes before we pop it open. So we're going to get started by making our cheese sauce over here. I've got 1 3/4 cups, 1 3/4 cup, let me say that properly, of water that's just come up to a simmer. And now I'm adding to it about 4.5 teaspoons of sodium citrate, which don't be afraid of it. I know it sounds all scientific. This stuff's great. It's made from citric acid. It can be used as an emulsifier, so essentially turn any cheese you like into a creamy cheese that won't separate. So once we get that kind of dissolved in there, we'll need 4 easy ingredients. This is gonna be 1 pound of sharp cheddar cheese. I know this looks a little crazy, just dropping cheese into water, but you're just gonna watch it come together. Add a little bit at a time. Once it's melted, add a little bit more. All right, last little bits of the cheese going in. As the temperature rises on this, it's gonna cream up a little bit, start to reduce a little bit. We're gonna add only 1 more ingredient for our 4-ingredient cheese sauce here, and that's Sriracha. Using the Yellowbird Sriracha on about 2 tablespoons. So this burner is currently only on the front. You can actually set 8 different quadrants on this griddle. So I'm just doing high heat over the front right now, but I'm gonna shut that off completely. And now this zone is technically dead, but it's really gonna hold its heat because of how hot this griddle cooks. So we can just move this back here and start cooking our cheesesteak ingredients. All right, before we start on the steak, let's do the reveal on the buns. Oh yeah, those look nice. Since we oiled them, they're not gonna stick together. Now we can throw our filling right in the middle. All right, let's let them stay warm in here. So now over here, I've just been preheating the griddle over low, and you can see how hot it is. We're gonna hit this with a little bit of avocado oil, and then we're gonna go down with our veggies first. Mushrooms, onion, bell pepper, and I'm gonna turn that heat up to medium now. We're gonna season these up with a little steak seasoning, Cattleman's Grill, California tri-tip. Ready to throw the steak in there. Getting some great color on those veggies. They're starting to soften up. Throw that steak in there. We're gonna top it off with a couple tablespoons of our chili crunch. A little bit of oil, a little bit of crunch. Let's crank this up to high now. Try to get some color on here. Oh man, it's smelling amazing at this point. Obviously when we're cooking cheesesteak like this, thin sliced, you're not looking for any sort of temperature. It's gonna be well past well done. But we're breaking down the fat that's in there. There's plenty of fat in ribeye, and it's kind of gonna baste itself in its fat. And then as we kind of chop this up and it gets tenderized, it's going to be really tender in the end. Yeah. Let's chop it up and let's do a little mixing around here. Incorporate all those veggies with the beef. So when we're cooking for color, to try and get color on the outside, that's when I like to kind of spread things out. But once we get to this point where we've got great color on everything, now we're kind of huddling all together because it's going to start to steam everything around it. So now we're softening once we've developed that color. Oh yeah, beautiful color on the bottom. Everything's getting nice and tender. It's just about ready to come off. Let's go ahead and slide this off the griddle and go build our cheesesteak bao. So let's go ahead and build one of these. You'll notice the little bit of browning. A lot of times these bao buns are going to be bright white because we use the chili oil though. We got a little bit of browning in there, so we sacrifice some of that stark white color for the flavor of the chili oil. Put a few tablespoons of our filling in here. Smother it in some of our Sriracha Cheese-Whiz. Just for a little bite of freshness on top, some green onion. There it is. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. So much flavor in that cheesesteak filling. You get in that Japanese barbecue sauce, the chili crunch adds a nice little bit of burn. You got your peppers, onions, mushrooms, but the cheese sauce is coating everything right now in a layer of fatty goodness. And it's all served up in this super tender, fluffy bao. Man, that's ridiculous. Look, it's a little bit of work to get here. This is maybe more of a little bit advanced video, but trust me when I say it's well worth the time, the flavor, the experience, and I had a lot of fun along the way. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.